So the second of our quarterfinals this afternoon is men's singles. It's Hu Yun from Hong Kong up against Srikanth Kidambi, the rising star of Indian men's singles badminton. So Hu Yun, vastly experienced, and at the age of 32, well, you look back 12 months, he was the number 2 seed. There is the draw of the men's singles from the quarter-final stage, and I can tell you that only 2 seeds left in. Lee Chong-wei, the world number 1, and Du Pengyu, the number 5 seed. There you can see at the bottom quarter of the draw. Sun Wen-ho, the number 6 seed, lost in the very first round. So did Momoto, the former world junior champion. And of course the number 7 seed, Nguyen of Vietnam, lost to Srikanth Kidambi, the man we are about to see. So the players are just about ready to make their way onto centre stage, waiting in the wings to be brought into the magnificent arena here. Led out by our umpire Wolfgang Lund from France. They're leading the players. Hu Yun, born in China but moved to Hong Kong in 2005 and has been representing Hong Kong for the last few years. There he is, 32-year-old. And as I say, 12 months, oh, it's not 12 months ago, the last Singapore Open, was it? Because it was in June last year. It's a little bit earlier this year, the Singapore Open. But the last Singapore Open, Hu Yun was the number 2 seed. He lost in the very first round to a qualifier from India, Sai Praneeth, and Sai Praneeth is still in the tournament this year. He's a quarter-finalist as well. He'll be playing against number 5 seed, Du Pengyu. Well, we know that this man has had his injury woes of late. Hu Yun, you can see heavy strapping on his right leg. He's played 4 tournaments prior to this year and lost in the round of last 32 of all 4. One being the second round of the German Open, because that was a draw of 64. All Super Series events are a draw of 32. Plus, of course, he's won 2 matches so far here this year in the Singapore Open. 14 in the world. He has been as high as 4, and that in itself is a talking point. We'll come back to that a little bit later. But we can see in the first round, played against a player promoted from the qualifying Misban, Ramdan Mohammed Misban of Malaysia, a very talented youngster, following in his father's footsteps. 3 games needed there. And then yesterday, Hu Yun against Dionysius Hayum Rumbaka of Indonesia. Far more comfortable for the man representing Hong Kong. So to Srikanth Kidambi, 21 years of age. A year ago, he was promoted from the qualifying event in this Singapore Open and lost out to the number 6 seed Tianmin Nguyen in that first round a year ago. 25 in the world ranking, as you can see. He has been as high as 20. In fact, has spent a total of 5 weeks as 20 in the world ranking, 2 different spells. And of course, earlier this tournament, in fact yesterday, he got revenge over the man who beat him a year ago, because he beat Tianmin Nguyen in 3 games, having dropped that opening game, came back strongly, and look how strongly he won that 3rd game, 21-8, in a match just 2 minutes shy of the hour mark. So this is just the second meeting between these 2 players. The umpire calls them to get themselves ready for the start. The only previous meeting was in the very first round of the first Premier Super Series event this year in Malaysia. 3 games it was, so it was a good encounter in Kuala Lumpur. But psychologically, always very good for players to have not only an overall advantage on the head-to-heads, but also to have won the last time that the two players met. So there is Wolfgang Lund from France, and Jakob Sindberg from Denmark is our service judge.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Hyejin, Hong Kong, China. And on my left, Kidambi Shrikant, India. Kidambi Shrikant to serve, love all, play.
So the 21-year-old from Andhra Pradesh state in South India getting this quarter-final underway. He is a huge talent, is Shrikant Kidambi. Really shot to fame last year when he won the Thailand Grand Prix Gold event, beat the #1 seed Boonsak Ponsana in the final of that Thailand Open. And when you consider that beating a home player in a final when you've got the crowd against you, that was a remarkable achievement. So a good rally already in these opening stages. Now, Hans Christian, I know that you have played against Hyejin a couple of times. He is one of those players, he reminds me so much in a way, his whole demeanour on court, of the former great player Taufik Hidayat, sort of almost so casual in between rallies and then suddenly within the rally explodes into action. But he is a tricky customer to play, isn't he?
He definitely is, and I think your comparison to Taufik is very reasonable actually. Of course he doesn't have the same results, but playing wise they really remind of each other, and he's really difficult to play. The first time I played him I found a really good rhythm and my defense was working well, and when your defense is working well, he's you will be able to handle his game. But the second time I played him, I just didn't know what was coming at me, and all his attacking shots hit the lines, and all of a sudden he made the fastest net shots as well. You can really never know what's coming from him. So he's very difficult player to play against and find any kind of rhythm against.
Yeah.
And as you say, can change within a game. Like he can be completely off in the first game, and then he can get back into the game and play some of his best badminton in the second game. So you never know where you have him.
Yeah.
4-2.
He's only been resumed in international badminton since 2008. That's when he started actually representing Hong Kong. Just wide, but it is remarkable to me that a player such as Hyejin has been as high as 4 in the world. In May last year, spent 3 weeks at #4 in the world ranking. He's never won a title. 2 finals, the Philippine Grand Prix event back in 2009, and a couple of years ago at the China Masters, when the China Masters was a Super Series event. But you know, there's been a lot of talk in women's tennis, hasn't there, about world #1s and players getting so high in the world ranking. With fellow compatriot of yours, Wozniacki, of course, was world #1. There was lots of talk because she hadn't won a Grand Slam tournament. But it is remarkable that you can have a player that's come back into international badminton, representing a new country, get so high in the world ranking, and yet has never won a title.
Yeah, it's very surprising for me. I didn't know this fact before this match actually, and I'm very surprised. I think he's a guy who will be dangerous in especially the Grand Prix Gold tournaments. He will always be one of the favorites to win, and I'm quite surprised to know that he actually hasn't won just one of them in his career.
Yeah.
Because as you say, he was as high as 4, and when you're 4 in the world, you have to be very consistent in your performances. But I think it's also down to the fact, as we say, that he is a bit up and down, and he also is it during his matches. So even if he plays a good tournament, then he can still in the final be up and down, or in the semi-final. And it's just very difficult when you get to the later stages of a tournament. If you play someone who is very confident and has a good rhythm and a good feel of the tournament, then it's very difficult if you don't play consistently throughout the match to
Yeah.
actually win it.
Service over.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the youngster from India, Shrikant Kadambe,
4-8.
because I know when he first started badminton, he was considered too weak physically, and he changed his diet from a vegetarian to eating some meat. He put on muscle and switched from doubles to singles, and he's playing a very aggressive game nowadays. He won his first ever title at the Maldives International 2 years ago. It's only his 4th tournament outside of India. And then, as I say, really shot to prominence last year when he won that Thailand Grand Prix gold. But he is an exciting player to watch. I've watched him quite a bit, and I do enjoy watching him. I think he's got huge potential.
Service over.
But I know you haven't played against him, but you've obviously watched him. What do you see as his qualities?
He's definitely an attacking player, and his smash is very powerful and very precise. He's the kind of player who, when he gets into a good rhythm and find his groove, then he can really make a lot of winners in a match, and he has the ability to make his opponent very insecure. I think he still needs to work a little bit on his consistency. He's sometimes making too many unforced errors and giving away a string of easy points, and you can't afford that against the best players. But in the matches where he can get that part out of his game, he's dangerous against any opponent, really.
Yeah. Oh, he's played a lot of tournaments this year. This is his 7th tournament of the year. Reached the final of the Syed Modi Memorial Grand Prix Gold event in Lucknow in India. In fact, very much had his chances. He was a game and 19-12 up in the second game, and then lost 9 straight points. Ooh, good. Oh, we've got a challenge. Well,
Sideline.
It also looked wide to me.
you thought it was good?
No, it looked wide.
It looked wide.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we've got Hawkeye, and Hawkeye is going to make the decision because it was taken with the drift a little bit. And there, the arm raised by umpire Wolfgang Lund. And it looks to me as if we've got the tournament referee coming on. Maybe the Hawkeye failed to see that one. I think that's the deputy referee, Philip Lee from Singapore. Head referee, Jane Wheatley from Australia. Now, yes, I don't think the... Oh, here we go. Oh, it was in. Well, Hawkeye has made its animated debut in World Badminton. And it means that not only has Shrikant only got 1 challenge remaining, that he's got a 5-point deficit at the mid-game interval of the opening game of this quarter-final. So 11-6 at the mid-game interval, and yeah, look at the whole demeanour of Huyen. Just a very quick word with his coach, and then just wanders round the edge of the court as if he hasn't a care in the world. The 2 coaches from India, Bulala Gopichan, the former All England champion, won that title, well, staggering 13 years ago. Goodness me, doesn't time fly. And also Meduta Bisht. Oh, it's nice from a personal perspective to see a national coach that's female in World Badminton. Good to see.
We could definitely use a few more of those.
Yeah.
No question about it.
So with the advantage, 11-6. That's a good rally. Ooh, that's going to go long. It has gone long.
11.
Well, Hu Yun being made to move a lot more in that rally. I wonder if that's what the coaches advised. You've got to work the rally first. Oh, a little bit of luck for Hu Yun.
Yeah, I think there's a very fair chance that Pulele Gopichan wants Srikanth to try and play longer rallies, because if he can get into a rhythm where he can really play some long rallies and get Yun Hu to feel like he just can't hit all his usual winners, then he will try and he will begin to feel again a little uncomfortable, and he will try and seek the easy winners. And when he's seeking the easy winners, there's usually also a few mistakes in him.
Oh, the lift very short indeed. Not surprising, it was an excellent net shot from Hu Yun. Easy put away, and that a clear example of how important and the reason why those tight spinning net shots are so crucial to the men's singles discipline.
Service over. 8-13.
Oh, well taken. Well, this is only his second ever Super Series quarter-final. Srikanth Kidambi
9-13.
reached the quarter-final in Japan last year, having been promoted from the qualifying event. And it's a big occasion for him.
Service over.
Well, Hu Yun definitely winning the battle of the net play at the moment, and a psychological battle there as well, because he was standing at the net but refused to pick up the shuttle. Well, it's fairly standard, simple courtesy amongst the players that if you've hit the shuttle into the net, you go and retrieve it and pass it back to your opponent. But when you're both standing there, Hu Yun just making the point psychologically.
He doesn't really get to work too hard for his points right now. Every time he gets a good chance at the back, he's going for the winners, and most of the time he's also getting it. That's really the problem for Srikanth right now, that he can play the back line without losing the point, and he really needs to, because at the net, as you say, Yun Hu has been playing outstandingly so far.
Yeah.
16-9.
The problem for Srikanth is that in the second game it's going to be even more difficult to play the back line, because he will be playing with the wind.
Service over. 10-16.
Well, it always interests me with players when there is a marked difference in the ends because of the drift or because of the conditions, whether a player chooses to start the good end or, assuming it went to 3 games, finish the good end. And it really depends on the character of the player. Oh, that's good reactions. Very good reactions. Which is it for you? Do you?
Yeah, for me it's a personal preference to start on the good side.
Yeah.
I prefer to have a good start and then hopefully win the first game, because then you feel a lot more secure and safe on court, and and all the pressures on your opponents to play well on the good side in the second game. And also you will most likely go into the third game with a lead at the interval.
That's gone wide. No question of that.
12-16.
Well, 3 straight points. Is this the beginning of a revival for Srikanth? Well, there's one of the casual errors that you were alluding to a little earlier. That fluctuation in concentration within a game, let alone a match, let alone a tournament. Oh, look at that, the very next rally.
Service over.
I think the lift is also a little short from Shrikant, but he just takes his chances so well. Whenever the quality is, when it's just a little bit off from his opponent, then he will take his chances straight away.
17-13.
That's gone long.
18-13.
Surprised about that. Oh, well taken. Very well taken. There's a number of times he's hit that winning smash down the forehand side of Kidambi.
19-13.
2 points away from the opening game.
Service over. Slightly
fortunate. I think he goes a little bit deep in his defensive stance, Shrikant.
I think he's very aware that Huyun is really trying to hit smashes down. It's not so much slices and drops. It's exactly that shot. That's his favorite shot by far. He's always trying to go for power and accuracy at the same time.
20.
Well, that power and accuracy
14.
has brought him 6 game point opportunities. Nice net shot.
Service over.
Yeah. One of the rare occasions that
15.
this man has won the battle at the net. Oh, that's gone well wide, and that's a clear
16-20.
indication of the drift. Sideways drift that you were talking about, going from right to left as we look down on the court. Nice net play again. Oh my goodness me. Well, the line judge initially pointed to the line to indicate that the shuttle was in,
20.
then changed his mind and called it out. And if I'd been Huyun when I'm at game point, I think I would have challenged that. Oh, I definitely would have challenged that.
When you still have 2 challenges remaining, I also don't understand why you don't use it on a game point.
Exactly. So 3 game points have been saved. Another 3 remain. Oh, well reached. A miss hit from Huyun, but they all count. It came off the frame of the racket.
21-17.
21-17 confirms the umpire. And all credit to the man representing Hong Kong, because he took the game to his opponent. A wonderful attacking play. 21-17. 18 minutes. And this is how he secured the opening game.
Next match on court 3, women's doubles. Loy-In and OUE China versus Ko Ara and Yu Hee Won Korea.
It's
Umpire
amazing
Mai
that
Lan
once
Yen
again,
Vietnam. Service charge.
no way his coach is using all of his allotted time to speak to Hu Yun. You'd think he was out for a practice session, wouldn't you, until the rally gets underway. And then he just springs into action. So, Srikanth Kidambi has a lot of work to do now here in the second.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
The call from the umpire that only 20
Second game.
seconds remaining, a clear
Level.
indication
Play.
for the players to get ready. So 1 game to the good, 21-17 that opening game. Yeah, just apologises.
1 love. Service over.
Far more aggression in that rally from the Indian youngster.
1 all.
No, he just missed it.
Service over.
He's got a brother, has Srikanth,
2
Nanda Gopal, who's an excellent doubles player. Coming up, player in India, one of the emerging doubles players. And in fact, when Srikanth was busy winning the Thailand Open men's singles, his brother was winning the mixed doubles at the Maldives International.
2
Oh, what a talented
all.
family. That's gone long. I'm wondering whether the drift has changed.
Yeah, it looks like it sometimes. Also in the women's singles we saw before that on the side where Yun Hu is right now, they have some difficulties finding the right length actually.
Yeah, this is a
4
much more positive start by Srikanth Kidambi to his second game than he started the first.
I think we have also seen a change from him, that he's trying to actually get to the shuttles a lot higher on the front court. Like he's trying to reach it a lot earlier. In the first game, it seemed like he was reaching everything close to the ground, to the floor, and that way Yun Hu is going to have a lot of attacking opportunities. So he's trying to take that away from Hu Yun right now.
Well, he's moving much better. He's playing with more aggression.
6 2.
Looks like a completely different player. Looks like a completely different game. 5 straight points. Good judgment
Service
from Hu
over.
Yun.
3 6.
Overdone it. He's got to be awfully careful, hasn't he, because of that sideways drift. Trying to play down Hu Yun's forehand side.
I think that's a small lapse in concentration, because he is obviously fully aware that the drift is going that way. But under a little bit of pressure, and if you're not 100% focused, then you will make these mistakes in the draft and the win.
Goodness me. Well,
5,
I can
6.
remember you saying in the women's singles quarter-final, our first match, Hans Christian, that even if the player had missed at the net, to really put the pressure on and go for that kill psychologically has an advantage.
Yeah, this was definitely the right choice for him, and he, of course, he's annoyed that he missed it, but it was the right thing to do. And next time, I'm pretty sure that he's going to be more careful, Hu Yun,
Service over.
about playing the next shot.
And there more aggression going
7,
forward.
5.
Yeah, I can see exactly what you were talking about just a couple of moments ago. Now, Shrikant's taking the shuttle early, reaching out that racket arm, trying to take it much earlier, coming forward. There again.
It's like they completely switch roles after
Yeah.
the first game.
Good net shot, good courage from Hu Yun.
Service over. Is 6, 7.
Oh, that's well
Service
taken.
over.
In fact, that's very reminiscent of a certain Dane. Not that I'm looking at anyone in particular, Hans Christian.
6.
That's you love that shot, don't you?
I do. That's for sure my favorite shot as well.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm overusing it sometimes, but it's really a good shot, and it has made me a lot of points over the last many years. So I think I'm gonna keep hitting it.
9, 6.
Did you see any of Shrikant's match yesterday against number 7 seed Tianmin Yun?
Unfortunately not.
No. I'm trying to rack my brain as oh my goodness. Well, yep, we've got a challenge. Another challenge, this time from Hu Yun, because it was called out. And I was surprised at the time. And I thought that came back in. But Hawkeye will make the decision.
Definitely looks like the drift helps him in the end.
Yeah. Brought it back in. I think that's in. I shouldn't make predictions, should I? Oh, indeed. It was in.
Challenge successful.
Yep. Good challenge by Hu Yun. So, we just need to adjust the score, because it is, in fact, 7-8 by my reckoning.
7, 8.
Yep. Umpire just confirming.
7.
And here we really see how
8.
important it is that we've
Left.
got this new instant review system on
Yes.
Hawkeye, because
Yep.
there's a huge difference between being 9-6 down and only 8-7.
Yeah.
Service over. 9, 7.
Look at that lovely movement back
10,
in court
7.
from Shrikant Kirambi. And by the time he had landed, shifted the body weight, coming forward in court again. And now 10-7 the advantage. Yeah, net's become even more important.
11,
And a little
7,
clenched
interval.
fist from Shrikant Kirambi, because he has a
Next
4-point
match on
advantage
court 2.
at the mid-game interval here in the second game.
Hu Penyu,
It
China.
really is
versus
remarkable the way he has
Eastside
turned
Running
this
India.
around.
Umpire, Bert von Horenbeck, Belgium.
Well, is it all a question of mental attitude towards the way you take things at the net. This is the last point before the mid-game interval. Look at the way he was reaching forward to take that net shot, and the higher you take it, the nearer you are to the net, and therefore the easier it is to be more accurate with your net shot.
Yeah, especially precisely, and he also he will have more options. He can also play a quick lift, and he can play straight net. He can play cross net. If he's taking it a lot lower, then he will be forced into into making bad decisions and giving all the chances to Hu Yun.
Yeah.
So I think it's really all credit to him for changing the game.
Yeah.
8-11.
And I think Hu Yun is gonna try and do exactly the same as Srikanth has changed. That he's gonna try and take everything early at the net now and try and impose a lot of pressure on Srikanth.
9-11.
Perfect lengths on that little hold and flick. And he's halved the 4-point deficit to just 2 points now.
Service over.
Well, as the match progresses, I just get the sense that the net play is becoming more and more important.
Yeah, and that's also why it was so important that Srikanth earlier we saw him go for the kill that he missed, but it's really important that he does go for it, because he makes Hu Yun a little bit more insecure, and he will have to play even more accurate at the net now.
14-9.
And I think that's why we saw him make the spin mistake, right? Just one round ago.
Yeah. Well, there's the big, huge difference coming forward there, coming from above the shuttle. And as you were talking about options of taking it early, even more options when you come from above it at the net. You can just drop the racket head underneath the shuttle and play the tight spinning net shot, or you can pressurise as he did. And that is a magnificent smash straight down the line from Hu Yun. Oh, perfect.
Best smash we've seen all day, I think.
Looked to me as if he changed his mind, and that was clever from Hu Yun, because he just played that little block back to the centre of the court. This one here, not trying to make it too tight to the net.
Exactly.
Didn't allow his opponent to create any angles.
He was left with a really tough choice what to do, because Hu Yun was definitely ready for a lift, so he could get his attacking opportunity again. And when you play these shots a little bit into the court, it's really difficult to play a tight net shot.
Yeah, now just to explain that a little bit further, of course, the further you are away from any target, the more difficult it is to be precise. And if you just push back slightly from the net, as you say, well, no, impossible to get very tight to the net on your net shot. It's well constructed.
12-15. Service over.
Well, he won't be happy with himself there, Hu Yun.
16-12.
Very loose return of serve, and really should have created more out of that. Well, all your predictions about threatening at the net and just making your opponent a little more hesitant, and make them think they've got to hit the perfect net shot, otherwise you're going to pounce on it. It's all coming true.
it's great to see.
18,
Yeah.
12.
Yeah, what happened to the curse of the commentator? 3 points away now from a third and deciding game. Make that 2 points away.
Hu Yun doesn't look like a guy who really believes there's a way back into this game right now.
Missed it.
Service over.
No, and I can see that a
13,
number of times
19.
with players nowadays. I was going to say with the new scoring, but the scoring is really very established. It was changed back in 2006, from February 2006. We had a point per rally system come into badminton, and it is more difficult
Service over.
now to come back from a deficit. And quite frankly
20,
now, with
game
7
point,
game point
13.
opportunities for Shrikant Kidambi, I feel fairly confident that we're going to be treated to a third and deciding game. Oh, well taken.
Service over. 14, 20.
Oh yeah, he thought that was going to go wide. The drift brought it down a lot quicker than he thought, changed his mind, decided to play it. By the time he had that indecision, he just completely mistimed the shot, and indeed it is 1 game apiece. Just watch this indecision. He's going to leave it. I thought it was going to be taken wide by the drift. Suddenly decided he ought to play it. But 21-14, and it is indeed 1 game all. Yeah. Wonder what Palolo Gopijand is saying there. Something about, was it defence, do you think, or something about the angles he should be hitting his opponent?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, but I think he's definitely gonna tell him to keep up the game that he played in the second, where he is trying to reach the shuttle early at the net, and at the same time he's also had quite a lot of success with his deceptiveness at the net, where he's trying to just make a small deception to get Hu Yun out of position. I think he's going to try and keep on doing that here in the final game. And then I think maybe from the back we saw that on the point he wanted to make it 20-13. He won by hitting a slice or a drop shot. I think he's been told to try and use a bit more variation in his attack, so he's not only hitting hard smashes whenever he has a chance.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Final game, love all, play.
So Wolfgang Lund, the umpire, calls for the start of the third and final game of this quarter-final. Overdone it.
Service over.
Now, without stating
1,
the obvious,
love.
the start to this deciding game is crucial.
Definitely, I think it's even more crucial for Shrikant than it is for Hu Yun, because if Shrikant can get a really good start, then I think he's gonna make Hu Yun feel like it's gonna be a tough task to win this one.
Yeah, we've both done better, obviously, from this near side of the court, and that is where Shrikant Kidambi is going to end this match. So I wonder if that's going to play its part. Oh, called good. I wonder if we'll have another challenge.
Service over.
You see, we've got another intrigue in badminton now with this instant review system, because you've got to be
4.
very careful and decide when you use challenges. If you take the scoreline out of the equation, I would have challenged that.
Me too, definitely.
Yeah, I thought that was wide. But cool, good.
But but I think he might be a little afraid to use all of his challenges as early as 1-all in the final game, I should
And
say.
that's the thing. It always amazes me with tennis players, with their challenges, that some of them, you know, the opening game of a set, and I sort of think, why are you challenging now?
Yeah.
Obviously, if it's break points, then you can understand it, but
You really have to be 100% certain your challenge is going to be successful if you do it early in a game. That's my opinion.
yeah.
Three, one.
Oh, good retrieving. What a good rally. Oh my goodness. Wonderful rally. And that could prove very, very important. Well, both players at one stage in that rally exhibiting defensive qualities that were just outstanding. Well, you don't often see that. That's about as much as emotion as you'll ever see from that man. Yun.
4, 1.
Nice deception. Yeah, set up the rally.
Service over.
And what was he doing? Precisely what Hans Christian Wittinghus had suggested in the very first game. Take it earlier at the net.
It's definitely the way forward for him if he wants to win this match.
And again, look at that. Well, I know he didn't win the rally, but that's the pressure.
Yeah.
That's the psychological pressure as well as the physical pressure.
And what he also did well in that rally was to use a different speed in his attack. He played it a little bit softer to the surprise of Huyun, which gave him a better chance at the net.
Service over. 3, 5.
Nicely played.
Very tight net shot.
4, 5.
Well, I was reading something in the Indian newspapers recently that Shrikant Gadambi was saying he wanted to be a top 10 player, and he's got that ambition to try and achieve that
5,
within the
4.
next 12 months, which I think is very ambitious, but he is a talented individual, isn't he, at the age of 21? Do you think he's got the possibility of going top 10?
I think definitely he does, yeah. But I think within 12 months is, I should say, very ambitious. I think that's going to be very difficult for him. But if he can keep on develop his game and keep on making small changes to make it hard for the opponent to read his game, especially his attacking game, if he can make small adjustments to that all the time, then I think he's going to be a player we will see a lot more in the future, and also fighting for some of the bigger titles.
Are you suggesting that he needs more deception with his attacking play, or
not deception, but just more variation? I think at the moment he is doing too much of the same. So if you know his game well, then it's going to be a little bit
Service over. 7,
easier to
6.
kind of read what's coming and kind of counter his game. Always, if you look at some of the best players, Lee Chong-wei, and also the best Chinese men's singles players, I think what they do so well is they of course play very consistently, but every time they're a little bit in problems against an opponent, they will change small things during the intervals, and then you come out guessing what's going to happen when you play against them, and then all of a sudden they're back into the game. They always seem to know what to change and how to do it, and they don't. You can never be sure that they just play the same game throughout the match. It sounds very easy to change those things, but it's obviously not, because you're so used to be playing one particular style.
Yeah. Yeah, but I do think that the big difference between contenders and champions is that ability to look at attention to detail, and those little changes that you're talking about make a huge difference.
9.
They really do. It really is small details and small percentages that makes a difference in the end. And mental strength.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That goes down as a missed opportunity, an unforced error. Well, you were talking
10.
about the importance
7.
for the youngster from India. Maybe have a lead, or at least be close. Well, he's just 1 point away from indeed having the lead at the change of ends.
11.
Well, we just saw the unforced errors statistic, and there's another one for Hu Yun. And indeed, it is Shrikant Akadambi who changes ends. Now with a 4-point advantage. Well, the thing that I just love about sport is you never know what's going to happen, and you can't predict. And every time I try to predict something, the players take great delight in proving me wrong. But this is good for Indian fans right now, isn't it?
Definitely, I think the game is his to win. I think he is in a very good position, and as we saw in the last few rallies, Hu Yun is beginning to make the unforced errors that Shrikant really loves to see, because it's proof that Hu Yun is having a tough time seeing how he's going to win this game. It's going to be a long match for him, and he really needs to work hard for his points, and that's why he's making these unforced errors. So it's a testament to Shrikant that he's doing the right thing at the moment.
8.
No,
11.
he has never been in a Super Series semi-final, this youngster from India.
I unfortunately know how that feeling is.
I'm sorry, that was a bit heartless of me, wasn't it?
9.
But does that play on your mind then? I mean, I wasn't thinking about you, I promise, but I mean, I was thinking about this youngster, you know, 21 years of age. Does it make him a little bit nervous, make him think about the enormity of what he could possibly achieve here, or as a player, do you just completely block that out?
I think it might...
Good defence. What a rally. Oh, super badminton. Sorry to interrupt you there, Hans Christian.
You had to. I think it will play a part in his mind, especially leading up to the game. I think he will probably think about it a little bit. I think right now he's very focused on the game and what he needs to do to win it. But when we get closer to a potential match point, then I think it might creep back into his mind. But of course, it's very individual how people handle these kind of thoughts. For me personally, I don't think too much about it when I play in the quarterfinals now, but the first few times I played in the quarterfinal, I actually thought about it when I played, that I would really love to make the semi-final.
Yeah. Well, I'm just racking my brain
12,
as
10.
Shrikant once again wins the battle at the nets. Because I seem to remember 2013 Super Series finals, a certain Hans Christian Wittinghus in the semi-final.
That's true, but I thought about regular Super Series
Oh,
Europe
okay.
Premier, because
Yep.
the Super Series finals is a little bit different because you have these pool games.
Yep.
So I actually only won one match and then lost 2 group matches and made it to the semi-final, whereas in a
Yeah.
regular Super Series or a Premier tournament you will have to win 3 matches in a row,
Yeah.
and that's a tough task.
Yeah, it is different, yeah. Oh, it's just long.
Service over. 11-13.
That's good judgment from Hu Yun to leave that. So 2 points the deficit.
Service over.
Yeah, you can tell from the body language, each and every point at this stage in the contest is so precious.
14.
The little
11.
clenched fist, the desperation defence, the willingness to dive. Oh, that's a good smash, good angle.
Twelve. 14.
Well, perhaps not the wisest decision, the flick serve there, but we can all be wise after the event. Oh, snatched at that. To me, that was a nervous shot.
Yeah, he really felt like he had a chance there, and he should have won that point. I think that's the feeling he had in his mind. He should have just accepted that
13.
his good chance was over, and
14.
he needed to build up the point once again, but he wasn't ready to do that, and he paid the price.
So now just 1 point in it. Good net shot from Hu Yun. My goodness, that was a big physical effort to lunge forward, racket arm outstretched, take that net shot early. And it's
14.
all level. 1 game all and 14 all. Well, little dispute as to whether the shuttle should be changed. Hu Yun says no. Umpire agrees with him. It's a good angle, and once again that forehand defence of Srikanth Kadambi looking very wobbly, a little bit nervous.
Yeah, I think he could definitely get to that one. It's not more than a few rallies ago we saw him dive to both sides
15,
and getting everything back, and now the smash didn't even have the best placement, but still he didn't manage to get it back, and he looks like he's a little too tense right now.
Oh, good net shot. My goodness, that might help
Service
settle the
over.
nerves. No, prior to that last point,
15.
Hu Yun had won
All.
5 of the last 7 points. So perhaps a little shift in momentum. These next few rallies are absolutely crucial. Oh my goodness me. Yeah, good rally. Good net play. The intensity of both players, absolutely supreme.
Really powerful smash, the last one. The placement wasn't great, but the power is just, yeah, his power is really, really good, and that's why Hu Yun isn't able to get it back.
Thank you.
Oh, the court just being mopped of the perspiration. Interesting that this man just stayed on court while his opponent went off court to towel down. That sends a definite message to your opponent. I'm ready. I want to play on.
16-15.
Also sends a message to the umpire.
Yeah.
That forehand defence.
Really has cost him a few important points now.
Yeah.
He's trying to do the right thing to play it away from
16.
Hu Yun so he can't
Oh.
follow up, but yeah, he doesn't have the quality right now.
Oh, so much for my prediction. There you go. Oh, well taken. Yeah,
Service
the
over.
courage to pressurise from the front of the court. That one there, that set up the rally, set up the opportunity to finish it off. Look how he reached
17-16.
forward there. That's superb. And once again, just nudges himself into the lead. Oh, and again.
Really well taken by Srikant, and it's definitely the right thing to do at this point, because none of these players wants to give away an attacking opportunity, and he knows that. So he has to try and kill that one, even if he didn't get away with it. But this time he did, and then it's just double up on the payoff.
Yeah, looks how he just hovers round the net area, ready to pounce. Oh, perfect net shot from Hu Yun. Well,
Service over.
Kidambi just appealing to the umpire as if to say, did he not take that shuttle before it had crossed over to the net? But
17-18.
umpire not calling it, and I thought it was okay.
Yeah, it looked like it was okay. It's also very cool of Hu Yun to actually
Yeah.
play the tight net shot right after Srikant killed the one he played before.
Service over.
Well, which either of the player is getting themselves on the attack is winning these
19,
crucial rallies.
17.
Much easier if you're riddled with nerves to play the power shots than the delicate defensive shots.
For sure it is.
Good pressure again, he's missed it. He will challenge, no doubt about that.
Out.
And Hawkeye and the instant review system will be asked to make the judgment. Well,
I'm afraid he missed it.
oof, my goodness me, I'd hate to be a line judge. They have to make these split-second decisions. But it is, as you were saying earlier, absolutely crucial, and it's a wonderful innovation in our sport to have this instant review system. And the tournament referee is looking at it and looking at it again, and Hawkeye is making the decision. Well, an agonising wait for the players. And I believe that it has been called out.
No decision. No decision. So line call out.
Well, the line judge, their decision has stood because sadly there's been a technical problem and we're unable
18,
to bring that, but that is what has happened up till now, and you have to rely on the line judge's decision. The umpire can only overrule if he sees that a clear error has been made. Oh, well played. It's all level once again. How cool was that?
Very cool, and especially considering that he played it with the side draft there as well.
Well, it's all going to come down to who's got the nerve.
19.
No questioning the desire. Both men equal on that front.
I think my heart is beating faster than when I play myself right now.
19 all. Oh, that was going out, surely. Well, whether it was going out or not is purely academic, because Hu Yun chose to take the shuttle. I thought that was going wide with the drift. And that is precisely the sort of thing that I was alluding to with the nerves. Unless you're absolutely certain when you know that the next rally, as that last one was going to do, determined who was going to have the match point. Unless you're certain it's going to go wide, you play it. Well, Kadambi able to ride the luck there. The match point opportunity is his. Oh, good net shot. What a good lift too. Oh, the luck of the net cords. And Shrikant Kadambi leaps in the air to celebrate, because this victory today means that tomorrow he will contest his first ever Super Series semi-final.
21-14, 21-19.
The umpire confirming the score: 17-21, 21-14, 21-19 in the deciding game. And what a thrilling match that turned out to be. Just over the hour mark. The final points, my goodness me, the luck of that net cord, but in all honesty, he created his own luck because he took the shuttle early, he wanted to attack, and for the 21-year-old rising stardom is just around the corner, because Shrikant Kadambi has really come good today. He will contest the semi-final tomorrow. We don't know yet who he will play against. Will it be the world number one Lee Chong Wei or Samson Boonsak from Thailand? Well, goodness me, we can see from the bottom half of the draw that Simon Santoso of Indonesia, the qualifier, he's come through the qualifying. He is already safely in the semi-final. I can tell you that other quarter-final, Du Pengyu and Sai Pranith in progress on one of the adjoining courts. My goodness me, what a quarter-final that was. Well, coming up next will be another women's singles quarter-final. Well, the wonderful Singapore skyline, and what a wonderful tournament we're having so far at the OUE Singapore Open for 2014. It's the 5th tournament on the 12-tournament MetLife BWF World Superseries. Quarterfinals day here at the Singapore Indoor Stadium. Oh goodness me, we've had 2 matches so far, and 2 excellent matches they've been. After that thrilling men's singles, we revert back to women's singles. And what a matchup this promises to be. It's the number 2 seed Wang Yihan of China up against the number 8 seed Pusala Venkata Sindhu of India.